With 3 weeks to go before Torontonians choose their next mayor, Olivia Chow has widened her lead according to the latest Forum Research poll. Chow has surged to 38% support among decided and leaning voters. That's about 3 times her nearest competitors, Mark Saunders and Josh Matlow. Besides Chow, Anthony Furey is the only one of the main candidates to see an increase in support, up a point to 10% now in the double digits. Anna Bilow sits with 8% support, while Mitzi Hunter has 7% and Brad Bradford is sitting at 5%. Just over 1,000 residents took part in the random phone poll on Friday, with the results considered accurate, plus or minus 3%, 19 times out of 20. With more on this, let's hand things over to Nick. Hey, Nick.
Yeah, thank you, Jen. And of course, let's investigate more about this Forum Research poll right now. Lauren Bosanoff, the president of Forum Research, is live here. How do you explain these numbers? I mean, because all the candidates really went on the attack, basically based on what happened last week in terms of the polling, and her numbers, Olivia Chow's numbers, have gone up.
So everyone was probably looking at last week's numbers and thinking, we got to stop Chow. So they went on the attack in the debates, and I think that backfired because she handled herself really well, and in doing so, I think she actually boosted her stature in the city. Right,
because she's actually handled it well. She hasn't really been very specific, though, in details about her sort of platform, or very light, but it's a lot focused on housing, which, of course, is really one of the top, housing and housing affordability, which, of course, is the top issue here as well.
Yeah, no, and you know what? She's across the board in every age category, both genders. She's just doing, she's way ahead in all those categories.
It's pretty remarkable here. So, you know, you've obviously been polling for a while, Lauren. At this late stage, to see a surge like this for Chow, I mean, the only other person gaining any ground is Anthony Furey, but he's at 10%, she's at 38%. What could potentially happen this late in a cycle like this to really significantly change any kind of numbers or momentum?
It's really hard to imagine something happening. Have to be like some massive knockout story or a knockout punch during one of the debates still to come. But really, it's really looking like a coronation for Chow.
And like you said, it's across every slice of society, low income, high income, male, female, no gender, like just no matter what, it's across. What is it you're hearing when you're doing this polling that voters are saying that they seem to like so much? Or is this just, it's a name recognition? Like, how do you sort of come down to this?
You know what? It's partly her, I'll say, celebrity status. People know who she is. She's been around. She ran for mayor before, so she's known across the city. Yeah. The others just don't rise to that level of stature. When you compare her, who is a previous candidate, and her experience against everybody else who is a counselor or a former counselor or a former police chief, they're not in the same category in people's minds, I don't think.
So then what do you make of Anthony Furey? Because that's an interesting case. I mean, Anthony Furey, some people may have known him from his columns in Post Media or from his work at True North as well, but he is kind of like less known than Mark Saunders for sure, Mitzi Hunter, Josh Matlow, Anna Bilow, etc. But he keeps rising. He's up to 10%. You said in the break, he could finish second.
Yeah, he's only 3 points behind Mark Saunders, who's in second place, and that's within the margin of error. So he could already be in second place because of that. The key thing about him is he hasn't been in any debates yet. Yeah. He's at 10%, and he hasn't been in a single debate. So once he gets into the debates, he's bound to go up further than where he's at now from that exposure, I believe.
And some of the candidates seem to be sort of flatlining or kind of going in the wrong direction. I'm thinking Bilow, Bradford, et cetera here. You know, is there much they could do to turn things around at this point, or is that kind of baked in now? I mean, so many, the undecideds are even dropping your numbers as well.
You know, they're so far behind. They're all in the single digits. And for them to get up to the level of Chow now, it would be almost impossible. The other thing is, it seems like the center is melting because the left is going up, the Chow numbers are going up, and we have Furey's coming on the right, and the center, all those people in the center, they're all going down 1 or 2 points a week. So we seem to be a polarization happening. It's really late in the game for this to be going on, but we do seem to be the start of the polarization.
Are you surprised at that? Because, you know, the former mayor, John Tory, was very much seen as kind of a centrist, little liberal, little conservative, fiscally conservative, et cetera. Does that shock you that the city appears to be moving so away from that centrist, or are there just too many candidates in the center?
There's way too many candidates. And, you know, with the 38% that Chow has, if this was a 3-person race, she'd probably win a 3-person race instead of a 100-person race. Right. So that's the size of her lead now, that 38%.
It is pretty incredible. And of course, you'll be polling again next week, and we'll see what happens then. But the fact that she's going up at this point sounds very much, Lauren, like it could be kind of game over. But anyway, we'll find out more numbers coming on. Thanks for joining us again this morning here. Lauren Bosanoff from Forum Research. Thank you so much.
Thank you.